Well, Dave, we've obviously been seeing just, I think, a lot of really positive things so far this spring. Is there anything or anyone that has really stood out to you this year?
I think there has been a lot of positives. There's a lot of good energy, a lot of good conversations, coaches, players within players. I just like the focus, the energy from the new guys, the guys that have been here. As far as standouts, man, it's a long list. I think, Yoshinobu is really coming really good. I think that Tanner Scott, just kind of seeing him, I think Bobby is really on his way back to reestablishing himself. There's just a lot of good things going on, and really Teo looks fantastic. So I just feel that we're all in a good spot.
Yesterday we saw Dustin May taking part in his live BP, and he's been very honest and raw just about everything that happened with the esophagus tear and how he's been feeling, really this series of unfortunate events he's had to deal with the last few years. When you see the work that he's put in, kind of where is he heading into this year, and what have you just seen from him?
Well, with Dustin, it's been 5 years of major league service, essentially, that he's spent a lot of time not participating, and that's been a frustrating road. But he is 100% healthy right now. Yesterday, he threw the ball extremely well, and he's had success at the big league level. I do feel that this year is going to be his best year. And I think there's a lot of excitement to be a full participant.
How do you keep Dustin May healthy?
That's a fair question. He looks really good physically. I think that we've tried to manage him as best we can. Certainly hasn't worked out. But I think right now where he's at, he's a competitor. He wants to be out there. And so just to continue to just be mindful that he's just come off surgery. But this guy has waited a long time to pitch in a big league game. And so you got to let him go out there and do it as well.
With Bobby, what does he have to show you to kind of show that he's hit the reset button?
Well, I think I want to see controlling of emotions. I want to see better execution of pitches. I want to see better sequencing and using his pitch mix the right way, which I think all those things weren't in sync last year. I do believe he's healthy with a lot of work on his part. And so I think if that's the case, good things are going to happen.
Dave, with Roki, you kind of touched on him and getting comfortable out here. What are the biggest questions he's been asking you personally?
So he's not there yet as far as asking questions. He's still at the stage of just observing, which he's doing a very good job at that, getting comfortable. But I do believe that once he starts to ask questions to his teammates, his coaches, myself, there will be another level of performance. But I think right now he just wants to kind of get his feet under him and then get into some games, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
And David, Chris Taylor, he's been such a big piece for you guys for almost 10 years now. What role do you envision him for this team?
I don't know right now. I've always said that one of Chris's superpowers, and he's won a lot of big games for the Dodgers in the biggest of moments, is his mindset, his mentality to be ready for whatever we ask of him. I still believe that's a superpower, and his ability to play all over the diamond. So he's got various gloves. He's healthy. He's moving really well. So it could be from third base to left field to center field. And I think after that, there's a second base in there. But I think CT just knows how to prepare himself.
As far as kind of what you're looking at kind of this spring, when we see what he looks like when he's an all-star, when the swing is right, what are you kind of looking for from a performance standpoint, just kind of in the swing?
From the swing, I think, it's hard to get locked in when you're not playing every day. Hitting is hard. I think for me is just some more consistent at-bats as far as quality of at-bat, moving the ball forward. I think CT, and he'll admit it, is he's very mechanically driven. But I also think that it's about performance, and it's not always mechanical, but he feels he's in a great spot mechanically this year, which is fantastic, and he's healthy. So I would expect, better quality of at-bat.
Chris has talked about, not only making some mechanical tweaks, but also kind of adjusting his mindset so that he's not looking for different things every time he comes up to the plate. Is that something that you've talked about him with, or have been seeing the results of?
That's kind of what I'm touching on. When you're in there every day, you can kind of tinker a little bit more because the rhythm and the speed of the game, you're kind of calibrated. But when you play 2 times a week, 3 times a week, it's hard to be a tinkerer because you never have something that sticks. And so that's something that I think is a struggle with him all the time, where, I understand how difficult that role is, but I just want to see competitive at-bats, when he gets run out there.
Is Freddie any closer to running?
I would say yes, but I don't know when that's going to happen. We'll see about this Cactus League opener, but I don't see that happening. And so I just don't know when he's going to be running and when he's going to be a full participant. I'm not sure yet. But I'm not worried about it.
What about Will Smith?
Will is moving better than Freddie. I would say Will be in a game next week. So we start, I think, on Thursday. So next week, I would assume Will be in the lineup at some point.
Given the opener that you planning to do, Yoshinobu or Shohei?
What's that?
For the opener game.
Oh, it's not Shohei. Shohei's going to be later in the month for sure, and we'll see about Yoshinobu.
With Tyler, I know he said he's been healthy since pretty early in the offseason, but just watching him today, is there anything you're going to be looking for with him coming off the elbow injury?
I think right now he is healthy. I think right now we're looking for command. I think that now he's going to be able to see some hitters and see how hitters respond to his stuff. And so the commanding of the fastball, the breaking ball, and seeing how hitters react to it. Both breaking balls, actually. Excuse me, there's a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer in there. So that's about it.
He's talked about trying to work on stay healthier, some of the extension and stuff in his throw. Just watching him, have you noticed anything different about his mechanics or how he's letting the ball go, or has that all been more subtle stuff?
It's been subtle, excuse me. Tyler, it's been subtle. I think a lot of it was driven on he just wasn't healthy. He really wasn't. And so I think right now, if you watch him today and watch him in his pens, he's a lot more athletic. And I think for me, as a big-bodied guy, if we can just get him to continue to be athletic, and he's a little bit like Chris in the sense of he's very mechanically driven, but I think if we can sort of move the pendulum a little bit to the athleticism, compete side of things, you're going to see a much more consistent Tyler Glasnow.
Last one, guys. Given that you plan to pitch Sasaki and Yamamoto in Tokyo, how soon do they need to get in these Cactus League games?
Soon. Soon. So, soon. They'll be in soon, yeah.
皆さん、こんにちは。今日は本当に特別な一日でした。私たちのチームは、ただ勝利を手にしただけではありません。この勝利には、何度も汗をかき、試練を乗り越えてきた結果が込められています。そして、その成果を一緒に感じることができるのは、何よりも素晴らしいことです。これまでにないほど、私たちのチームワークと精神力が試されました。そして、今、私たちはその成果を手にしています。でも、これで終わりではありません。私たちの目標は、次の試合、次の大会でも同じように戦い続けることです。そして、このユニフォームを着ることがどれだけ特別なことかを、毎日感じながらプレーしています。私たちが目指しているのは、1回の勝利ではなく、何度も何度も繰り返し、絶え間ない努力で続けていくことです。そのために、今日も明日も、一日一日を大切にしていきます。 皆さんが毎日練習に取り組む姿勢を見て、私たちは本当に誇りに思っています。そして、そんな努力が実を結び、ついにこの瞬間を迎えたのです。これまでの苦しみや困難も、今や全てが報われた瞬間です。その結果が、何よりの証明です。毎日の努力、毎日の小さな改善が、最終的には大きな成果につながるのです。チーム全員が心を一つにして、同じ目標に向かって進んできました。時には辛く、くじけそうになる瞬間もありましたが、それでも諦めずに前に進み続けたからこそ、今、私たちがここに立っているのです。このユニフォームを着ることがどれだけ特別な意味を持つかを、チーム全員で感じながら、次のステップに進みましょう。皆さんも、私たちが何度も言っている、今日がすべて、という言葉を覚えていてください。明日や昨日のことではなく、今、この瞬間に集中することこそが、勝利を手にするために最も大切なことです。もし今日を全力で生き抜くことができれば、必ず明日も良い結果が待っています。そして、10月になった時には、私たちは必ず良いポジションにいることができるのです。そして、私たちの勝利には、もちろん多くの努力が必要ですが、それと同時に、楽しむことも大切だと感じています。チームの一員として、互いに支え合い、時には笑い合うことが、私たちの絆をさらに深めてくれます。だからこそ、今日のように、ちょっとした笑い話や予想外の出来事も、大きな意味を持つんですよね。SHOHEI からプレゼントされた車の話もその一つです。あんなに面白い瞬間があったからこそ、チーム全体がさらに一体感を感じることができました。さて、ここで一つお願いがあります。もしまだこの動画を見ていらっしゃる方がいたら、ぜひチャンネル登録をお願いします。私たちのチームの戦いぶり、努力、そして感動を、もっと多くの人たちと共有したいと思っています。コメントで応援のメッセージを送っていただけると、私たちの励みになりますし、次の試合ももっと頑張れる力になりますよ。最後に、これからも私たちの戦いは続きます。新たな目標に向かって、一日一日を大切にし、さらに強くなるために努力を続けていきます。そして、次の勝利の瞬間を、皆さんと一緒に祝えることを楽しみにしています。これからも応援よろしくお願いします。次の試合も一緒に応援していきましょう。